In this video, we're going to talk about energy cords. Energy cords are really interesting. So the Buddhists talk about attachments leading to pain and suffering. It's true. But attachments can feel really good. They can feel really amazing. They can make you feel like, oh my God, like I am so connected to this person, and we're like one person, and we have telepathic communication, and it's amazing, and oh my God, like there's nothing like it, right? So I want to tell you a little story. When I was with a partner, we lived together for a while. What I would notice is if he had energy, I would be in bed exhausted, just down for the count. And then if I had energy, he would be exhausted and he would just be down for the count. And I went, wait a minute, we have one energetic battery between us. And I realized, like, one of us had to choose. One of us had to choose to have the energy, and the other one had to choose to, like, be in bed and having a nap. And I didn't realize it then, but when I started really figuring out this work, it just became entirely too obvious what had happened. And that has to do with energy cords. So when we meet somebody, we're whole and complete in ourself, right? We have our own energy field. We have our own connection to source and the earth. So we're whole and complete within ourselves. And so the energy that we get is from source. It's from the earth. It's from our body. But when we connect in with another person and it feels amazing and great, and it's like the best feeling that you've ever had in your life, it can often give you the excuse of hooking up with the divine source in an even greater way. So you feel safe enough to just open up all your chakras and open up your entire energy field, and it feels really awesome and amazing. And part of that is because you send out this streamer to this other person, this energetic cord, and it allows you to feel a little bit safer and a little bit more confident than if you were just on your own. But what happens is sometimes we think that it's that other person who is the source of our happiness, who is the source for our energy, who is the source for everything. And the way I saw this once is I was with another partner. We were actually going through a breakup, and I was doing energy clearing, and I had checked into my crown chakra and noticed that instead of the cord going up to divine source, it was going off to the side. And I thought, it's going off to the side? Like, what's that all about? And then I realized it was to my ex-partner. And I was like, oh, crap. And so what that means is that I misidentified his energy as source energy. And I wanted to connect in with him all the time. And I felt dependent on that. And if he wasn't available to connect with me, I got upset, and I felt abandoned, and I felt scared, and I felt like a whole bunch of things, because basically what that means in my mind was, oh my God, I don't have a connection to source anymore. And that can be really scary. Like, it could feel like, oh my God, like, unless you're here with me, I'm going to die. Like, unless I have this connection with you, I can't access source. And that's a sucky way to feel. But you only feel that way until you release the cord and the attachment to that other person. Once you release the cord and attachment to the other person and establish your own cord to divine source, like, once you have your own cord, you feel relaxed, you feel peaceful, you feel that connection because you know that it's always available to you. Source energy is always available to you You're never going to need another person to connect into, to access your channel to divine source. You don't need it. It's amplified and it's easy, and you can feel it more, because you know how they say, like, when two or more are gathered, like, miracles happen. So when somebody's in your energy field, and you're connected with them, it's easier to access all of your energy. But you can do it on your own, and the more you do it, the stronger it gets, until you feel really, really confident about what that connection means. So I'll show you just a little bit about what it looks like. So energy cords, sometimes you can send out like a heart cord to another person, and then you feel connected, like from the heart. Sometimes it's a sacral connection, and that's like the super sexy time feeling. And also the connections from your third eye, like from your insight. So this is where we have a lot of telepathic communication with another person, and like they're thinking about you and you're thinking about them. And so the cords, when they're connected to specific chakras, they have specific purposes. Like this is a very loving, heart-centered connection, right? And this is a very sexual connection, and this is very cerebral, right? You're thinking about them all the time. So the reason why it's really important to release these cords is just because they'll get gunky, and also you become dependent on them, and you think that you need them in order to feel love. You need them in order to have insight. You need them in order to feel sexual. And anything that comes from an obsessive place or a needy place or a clingy place, like I need to have this or else something bad, is always not a great idea. And it's indicative of having a cord. And so once you release that cord and you establish your own sense of self and insight, and you your own love for your own self and divine source and divine love, and you feel your own sexuality within your own body, that makes you a strong, confident individual and more attractive to your partner. Because here's what happens in certain relationships. It's like you get together and you saturate each other with each other's energy, and then when you go to see your partner, they feel more like you than them. And it's weird. Because you got together with your partner because they were a unique individual with their own energetic frequency and signature. But if they have so much energy of yours in their space, they're not going to feel like them anymore. And so, so the reason why a lot of times people in relationships are so hard on their partner and they want them to be better, like they're like, you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that, like you should do this, you should do that, is because when you're connected to a partner, your mind almost goes to, this is an extension of me. And so if they're not doing or performing the way that you would, it's almost like a part of you is not doing or performing the way that you want it to. And so that's why people are very hard on their partners. But as you come back into yourself, as you do your own work and come back into yourself and release their energy and cords back to them, and you come back into yourself, you can actually see them from an outsider's point of view. Like just as the person who is living their life and, you know, doing their own thing, you can see them as that again. But when you have a cord connected to them and this strong attachment, it makes us crazy. It really does. It makes us crazy because we think that they're an extension of us, and it shouldn't be that way. They should be an individual. And some of the most amazing, connected, loving relationships are two individuals. You know, not two people who need to be enmeshed with each other anymore, but two strong individuals who are confident in their own body, in their own life, doing their own thing, and then come together because they wish to be together, not because they're tethered together or they have to be. And so in the next video, I'm going to teach you what the attachments look like, how they connect in with each other, and how we can release them.